This is Brian Myers from JC Off-Road, and I just been overhauled. You're listening to XJ Talk Show.
Howdy, guys and girls. Josh and I are here pre-show as planned. I think we're getting a little better about being on time, Josh. At least we're getting the pre-show started on time.
I swear, if we keep up with this whole punctuality thing, we just might start a trend.
It's always possible. So if you guys aren't aware, if this is your first time joining us or the first time watching the YouTube video of the recording of this live show, it's kind of confusing. What we're doing here is we start the show around 10 p.m. Central Time every Thursday, and we'll start the broadcast a little early so you guys can jump in, join in, not be late. Quite often, Josh and I are late getting started. We've gone as far as 15 minutes past the hour, but it's more important for us to get the show right than have it on time. I think the other part will come as we get more and more in tune with getting things going. Now, we do have a bit of a surprise tonight. You're going to be able to see Josh live in living color and nice and clear. Camera's not on yet, Josh, so cool it. I can tell I'm going to have to up your audio a little bit on the compressor here because it's not quite as loud as quite as loud as I am with the music.
You know, and it's weird because I haven't done anything since was it last night that we spoke? And
no, I adjusted it last night.
Oh, okay.
So let's see if I can't see the damn. There's my flashlight. Yep, that's the right knob. That's what she said. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm going to do my best to keep my voice and keep my voice up and the coughing down at least for tonight.
Syllabus. I don't think anybody gets that. I don't think anybody gets that joke. I thought it was just so funny. Do you even know what it's referring to?
I know syllabus. Syllabus isn't that kind of like a curriculum type of? No, I'm not even pretending that.
No, there was a skit on Saturday Night Live. Wayne and Garth, where they had Wayne's World in the basement,
yeah,
and they had a roadie, and the roadie was setting up the microphones and stuff for them pre-show in the basement, and it was Tom Hanks. And he had he had this really long hair and a baseball hat. He was dressed up like a roadie, and he was testing the mic. And what he did was he got up the mic. He said, "Syllabus." And it just struck me funny, And I think Hanks was a pretty big star at the time, even at that, whenever that was on. And it was just funny. It just always struck me as hilarious. It was another time that I was kind of a Arnold Schwarzenegger fan, things blowing up, shooting people, all that kinds of stuff. It's fun to watch on the movies. But it wasn't until he made fun of himself on David Letterman that I became a big fan. He was standing behind Dave. He was going to be on the show, on Dave's show, and he was standing behind Dave uncomfortably close while Dave was in a makeup chair getting made up for the show. And they were just carrying on a conversation back and forth, natural and normal. And then I thought, man, it's really strange. I mean, he is like right on. He's like up against the chair back. He is so close to the chair. It's just like uncomfortably close. And Dave got up out of the chair, and you see Arnold was holding the broken chair so Dave could get his makeup put on. He was literally holding the chair in place for Dave to sit in. And he goes, "Hey, thanks for holding the chair, Arnold." "Hey, no problem." And he throws the chair to the side.
That's great.
It was hilarious. All right. Well, anyway, enough of that. So, you boys stop that and focus on your homework. Okay, so what do we got to do? I think I got everything up. I even got the show opener, 43A, right?
Yep. You should have that. Should be on the board, on your board, I'm hoping. Got a rather lengthy This Week in Jeep this week. So I'm only going to do one story, whereas I've typically done two or three. Let's see. What's the promos and drops?
That's the stuff I normally play. You're listening to, and I did mention in the second grouping that I'm going to go ahead and play the Amazon promo that you did a while back. so we can get that back into the rotation next week. I was thinking about doing it this week, but I think we got a full show. Talking about...
that's it, yep.
Oh, I got my speakers on. I'm hearing a delay.
Oh, that'll do it.
Where is that coming from? I need to stop that. That's eating up bandwidth.
Give me a hint what Rob's Wrangler segment is about this week.
Winching, or a winch.
Oh, we got a Josh's Subconscious. Okay.
Oh, it's pretty good too. I actually mixed in a couple of noise sound effects in with it this time.
Oh, look at you.
And yes, 7. Count them, 7 voicemails. 1, 2. I will count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a subconscious. I'm not counting Josh's subconscious as a voicemail.
This unknown advert. It's raising my curiosity.
Advertisement.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was some sort of an advertisement.
I thought you might think it means to avert your eyes, or
see no evil, hear no evil.
Oh, and we got one from Stephanie. She promised us to that she would call in and say hi. Unfortunately, she misunderstood and thought it had to be 3 minutes long. So towards the end of it, she says, I can't think of 3 minutes of things to say.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So I got the time on that, on all those, I believe.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
So I figure we can probably just comment on each one of those and a little something. Maybe we'll restrict it to 1 or 2 sentences.
Yeah. I was going to say maybe one back and forth, and then move on to the next one if unless there's something else that needs to be said. But yeah. Let's see here. There was something I was just. Oh yeah. The YouTube subscribers got some interesting and clever names in here this week.
Yeah. I just went to the first 4 on the list and tried to put some I don't know, producer notes or whatever it's called in there to try to give us a little help.
Well, I think the help is going to make it fun.
Yes. And I figured I'd start with the first one so you get the last one. No, actually, I'll start with the second one. No, damn it. Where is? Well, yeah, I'll start with the first one.
Right.
You'll cough 3 times on that 4th one.
Yeah, probably. Let's see. Going with 30 seconds of background music, so we'll need to stretch it a little bit.
Well, I went through them, and I could do all 4 of them in 15 seconds.
Okay, but you have a 30-second
background music
track that you want to play. Okay.
Yeah. I think that it would be. This may not be the one we want to use, but I figure if we can get it timed pretty good, it'll sound a little more. A little more radio-ish showmanship type thing. Like a little background music.
Is I'll fire up my stopwatch, and the moment we start rolling into this, and as soon as I hear the music, I'll start the stopwatch. You'll obviously have the counter on your screen. I'll have something at least will get me within a second or so of this, so we can try and hit this on the mark.
Yeah, and we can go a little over, a little under, it doesn't matter. But this is what you'll be listening for.
Edgy and it's raw.
Like I said, it's probably not the best one to go with, but we'll do that one. And actually, what I'd like to do is, how Pavlov trained dogs to salivate by giving them ringing a bell and then giving them food. I want to get the same music to play in the background for the YouTube, so people will salivate every time they hear the music starting. No, that's not what I'm saying. They'll know. Okay, here comes the YouTube subscriber segment. If it makes them wet, all the better.
Since I've adjusted this light here above me,
is it keeping you up?
The light's not keeping me up, but the temperature is being kept up.
Oh,
Certainly
you poor baby! I'm getting ready to turn on the heat lamp.
Hey, I got to give credit for the folks that out on Broadway or out on the stage or whatever. You got all those set lights and everything. It's got to get hot. I mean, I don't even know what the wattage is on this. I want to say it's probably around 75 or 100 watts. It's a weird little light bulb I haven't seen. It's like a mini spotlight almost, or mini floodlight, rather. And it's definitely putting out a fair amount of heat. So I'm going to have to change that here very soon and put something a little bit cooler in there.
Well, you could probably put in one of those fluorescent type things and adjust the lighting with your camera controls.
Yep. Keep it warm through the camera.
My favorite site is xjtalk.com. It's where you go when you're not off-road.
Oh, check this out. Here we go.
We here at the XJ Talk Show would like to take a minute to apologize for some of the things that have been said or otherwise conveyed in a negative manner towards another member of our Jeep family.
The board lets you stop another sound when it goes to play. Although it's a little slow, there's a bit of a gap in there that I'd like for it to actually have an overlay bit.
Yeah, that would be nice. I see where you're going with that, and there is a little bit of latency in there.
Yeah. Could take that out in editing, but it'd be nice just to be play it straight from the board. Okay, I actually put some more padding around here. I had some more of those moving blankets, so I'm hoping that I've got rid of some of the static. Yeah, that's interesting. There's some artifacts on your display.
Oh, interesting.
Around the microphone and stuff.
I wonder. Oh, it's probably picking up the green in my mic.
It stopped it. It stopped it when you put your hand up there, but I didn't think I had any.
It interrupts it enough.
I hope it's not my video card.
No, it's just doing what you're telling it to. It's looking for green.
Yeah, but I don't think I have chroma key on yours.
Well, if I have anything else that's green in here, I can hold up.
Let me look at my video card here real quick. Make sure I'm not getting it too hot. Oh, actually, I know. I'll remove the cover. I'll be right back. Okay. Well, let's see. 9:58. It's nice to be prepared for the show.
Yeah, boy, isn't it, though?
I feel like I'm forgetting something.
Music?
No, I do need to turn the light on. That's strange. Having a little problem with the chroma key. Oh, there, it's cleaning up.
I can bring my camera up slightly or zoom in one notch. Just get rid of that mic.
No, it's not really you. Hey, put your hand in front of the green again.
It shouldn't be picking up the green back here. That's dark, and well, it's probably not lit up enough now. It used to be not at all lit up, but
Well, I hope we get through this show. Let me see if I can address the chroma key here a little bit.
Well, I could wrap a piece of paper around it or something. Maybe I can break it up like this. I got a couple Tread Lightly stickers here. See if I can tuck one in. I don't know if that helps or not.
I don't see it on yours. Well, we'll wait here just a couple of minutes, guys. We're getting things adjusted. Didn't know there was a problem.
And I'm messing around with people in chat.
Okay, well, that was fairly easy. Just had to remember where it was. Let's see if I can adjust yours, because I'm still seeing those artifacts.
We might have to. I mean, if I take the. Oh, come on! Now you're not going to do it. That sucks. See, now my Zoom control isn't working. I mean, I can move the mic or adjust the camera or whatever. I mean, if it's if it's something that's just a matter of taking something out of the field of view, then we can adjust.
See, chroma key's not on you. I don't have it on.
Might just be picking up residual off the image on the screen. I don't know.
Well, this thing processes through the video card. That's why I was wondering. It does most of its stuff through the video card. So that's why I was a little concerned that maybe my video card was getting too hot. Okay. All right. Well, I guess that's about as good as it's going to get.
All right, man.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. As always.
broadcast for a breaking XJ Talk Show sports report. A national golf tournament earlier today, Tiger Woods' game goes limp and he pulls out after only 9 holes. On the scene spectator says he came and he went. Full report coming up right after this.
You're going to hell for that one.
Bienvenidos al XJ Talk Show, un podcast acerca de aventuras off-road en Jeep Cherokees y entrevistas con los que manejan y mueven el mundo de las carreras off-road. Ahora, aquí están sus presentadores, Tony y Josh.
Yes, it is. I think it is. Anyway, this is Tony. You also know me as Mutteroy on xjtalk.com. And here's my co-host, Josh.
I am Yosh, and otherwise known as NW99XJ or Northwest 99XJ on xjtalk.com.
And we're here to share you this show as it is. And if you didn't notice, Josh is a lot clearer tonight, and he's actually a little bit further away from the camera. That's through some modern electronics that we've added with the show. Hopefully you guys will think that's a good thing. And you know, Josh might actually be getting a green screen here soon and enough lights so we can watch the sweat pour off of him during the summer.
Yeah, because my studio is not air conditioned right now, and by this summer, well, I have no idea. So last summer it was pretty warm. Got a little wet, so let's do that.
So anyway, let's just get this road on the show. Hey, I always say that. It never makes any sense. This is the XJ Talk Show, a podcast about Jeep Cherokees, off-roading, and the tech that you need to get there and back. We're here to promote the web's most premier website for all that is Jeep Cherokee, xjtalk.com, the friendliest and most helpful site on the web. xjtalk.com encourages and answers all the questions and concerns that the first-time XJ owners typically have without a flaming criticism, all while giving you the best, most in-depth articles and write-ups for the repairs, modifications that take your average XJ to the next level. Now get ready. It's the XJ Talk Show, and it starts right now.
First week in Jeep.
So do I potentially have a new target for all of my bashing? It's been a little while since I have bashed on the new Cherokee. And so I've got all this pent-up frustration and rage within me. And I've had no outlet. That is until now. Folks, meet the new Teacup breed by Fiat Chrysler. Enter the Jeep Renegade. That's right, Jeep fans. Jeep, or should I say Fiat Chrysler, has done it again. This time they have officially desecrated some of the strongest Jeep heritage, spanning some 16 years of production across 2 platforms. The Renegade has just had its name badge raped by the genius designers over in Italy, who for whatever reason can't come up with an original name for these pseudo-Jeep Fiat vehicles they keep pumping out. And with this recent submission, make it quite obvious that they are in a headstrong, full-out sprint in a race to see how fast we can piss off the wily North American off-roader. The Renegade was an options package that was available in 1970 through 1986 Jeep CJ5 and CJ7s, respectively. This package came with the obvious body decals we all know and love, as well as a 304 cubic inch, 5-liter V8, alloy wheels, and a track lock limited slip differential. What was just released by Chrysler Fiat this week is nowhere near anything that resembles what the Renegade was and stood for. Now, in the 70s and 80s, if you had a Renegade, that meant you liked to go fast and run over things with absolute power and assuredness. It stood for something, and the emblazoned name badge across the hood proved it. The 2015 Renegade does none of this. It will, however, make an attempt to pay some degree of homage to its roots. It will have the most advanced and intelligent 4x4 system in its class, standard. Both systems can send up to 100% of the engine torque through any one wheel at any given time, for optimal grip, of course. However, in normal driving, the rear axle disconnects to save some fuel, re-engaging almost instantly whenever 4x4 traction is needed. Gee, that sounds strong, doesn't it? Now, as mentioned, there are 2 separate 4x4 systems to choose from. The first is Jeep Active Drive, which is a regular 4x4 system, I'm assuming with a traditional transfer case. The second is Jeep Active Drive Low, which offers a 20-to-1 low-range mode for crawling. Interesting. Let me see if I can adapt one of those into my Cherokee. Now, both systems also feature the Jeep Select Terrain feature, which also allows the driver to select from 5 different modes. You've seen this in the Grand Cherokees lately. auto, snow, sand, and mud modes, plus an exclusive rock mode on a trail-rated Trailhawk version of the Renegade. Now, this model comes standard with the Jeep Active Drive Low 4x4 system and extended Jeep Select terrain feature. However, it also gets a whopping 0.8-inch taller ride height. Woo! Better calm down now. Skid plate, stow hook, 17-inch all-terrain tires, a hill descent feature, and unique bumpers. A 6-speed manual transmission will be standard with a 9-speed automatic remaining an option. And we all know how well that 9-speed automatic has been working. Now, for the North American market, the 2015 Renegade will offer 2 different engine options. The base unit is a turbocharged 1.4-liter 4-cylinder good for around 168 horsepower and 184 foot-pounds of torque. The second is a 2.4-liter 4-cylinder with 184 horsepower and 177 pounds-foot-feet of torque. A range of diesels will also be offered, but not for us Yanks. Nope, that's an overseas option only. Isn't that just swell? So, as you can tell, folks, I have directed all of my rage and bashing onto the new Renegade. I'm sure this will not end anytime soon, so we'll see what happens in the weeks to come as the potential testers and reviewers get their hands on this thing and run it through its paces. And I will, of course, be looking forward to more reports to give to you guys. If you would like to submit a story to be aired on This Week in Jeep, please send an email to newstips@xjtalk.com.
Hey, this is Mark from DetoursUSA.com. You're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. The one just sitting there listening to the XJ Talk Show. Why aren't you a part of it? What? Tell me more, you say? Well, it's pretty simple. You can become an XJ Talk Show reporter. All you need is a smartphone and the ability to talk to people. Just email reporter@xjtalk.com for more information. You're listening to the XJ Talk Show. Please help Tony and Josh get more listeners by telling a friend or 2 or 3 about the podcast. It's so simple. Just tell them to go to xjtalkshow.com. Okay, look, Tony is really insecure, and he measures his success by how many people listen to the show. He is driving us crazy, so please tell a friend.
Yes, please tell a friend.
Yeah, no, we definitely encourage you guys to spread the word. Of course, for those who are watching our live show, you are tuning into the YouTube channel, which we broadcast our event live every Thursday, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Tell a friend, and by all means, share those links.
Hey, let's get on to our new YouTube subscribers, Josh.
Yeah, let's see. We've got 4 to share with you guys this week.
Sergeant Steve 92, welcome and thanks for subscribing.
We have Steven Zapper. He's in our number 2 spot on this week's YouTube subscribers list.
Jerry Hicklin.
And rounding out the end is one that we've had some fun with trying to figure out what it means, is ASLV Frost 98 CSVT, or otherwise known as Ass Lever Frost 98 CS Vermont.
Thank you. Thank you very much all for joining.
No, we do appreciate all of our new subscribers, and make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed already, that you join that list, and eventually we'll get around to it. The list grows quite fast, so eventually you will be hearing your name called out sooner or later.
You know, I forgot to mention, 422 is the number of subscribers we have now, Josh. Pretty impressive.
It's growing every week.
Yeah, it's almost like half 1,000.
Hey, I was told there'd be no math. What's all this fractions?
It would be, yes, there would be no math. And no counting of money either.
Yes.
So anyway, let's get on to our chit chat. That's I know your and mine favorites, and that's why we have to stay calm and not go too long.
Yeah, and this week might actually go kind of fast, guys. I'm suffering from a little bit of something that's trying to move into my chest. I woke up, went to bed kind of feeling a little ill, under the weather, and woke up sick the other day. So I've got some tea, I've got some water, and I've got a little bit of cognac here to try and do some warm, cold, and warmer. Trying to keep my pipes from completely freezing up on me. Yeah, that'd be my vocal pipes, as it were. And so, hopefully we can go through this whole show without me coughing horribly into the microphone. So last week, guys, we heard from a voicemail from Harry Franco, otherwise known as on XJ Talk as Big Dog. Harry is a U.S. Army veteran of Operation Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom. He has started a project building up a Jeep Cherokee XJ to take around to different events like car shows, off-road events, military veterans events, etc. The project is called Hidden Wounds XJ. He plans to take the Hidden Wounds XJ to these events to help raise awareness about post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury. He himself has PTSD and is getting the help and support that he needs and simply wants to do his part to help other veterans. Now, it seems just about everyone knows somebody that has been deployed, and as we know, not everyone comes back exactly the same as they were when they left. Now, these differences in personality and behavior used to be called things like shell shock and battle fatigue and stuff like that. Now, nowadays, we have a much better understanding of these ailments and, of course, how to treat them. Now, so if Harry is able to educate the general public at these events about PTSD and TBI, then maybe you can help a veteran too by supporting his efforts and supporting our veterans. Please go to the Hidden Wounds XJ page, Hidden Wounds XJ Facebook page. There we go. And please like that. It's facebook.com/Hidden Wounds XJ. Now, you can also buy stickers to help support his efforts. They're 1 for $8 or 2 for $15. They're pretty cool and they come in a rainbow of different colors. If you'd like to make a donation or purchase stickers through his PayPal, it's hwx@bak.rr.com. Also ask you to visit hiddenwoundsxj.com to follow the progress of the build. Another organization doing something very similar to this is called 4 Wheel to Heal. And I had an opportunity to get involved with these guys just last summer in an event in my area, and it was called Wheelin' and Healin'. I got a chance to sit down and interview the guys who put the whole thing together, and I'd like to share that with you guys right now.
Well, hey guys, I'm out here in Beaver Creek, Oregon, a little town outside of Portland, a little ways. I'm here at the first annual Wheelin' to Healin' event. This is sponsored by our friends over at Double Black Diamond Off-Road, rather. And I'm standing here with a couple of, some of the more important guys that help put this whole thing on. And this is an event that, is going to a good cause. Right here next to me is Kelly Holdeman, the founder of Double Black Diamond Off-Road. And Kelly, why don't you tell us a little bit about this cause and why we're all here today?
4 Wheel to Heal is a national organization that helps wounded warriors get out of their house and out into the community. They pay for warriors that have been in any type of battle situation that may suffer from PTSD to broken limbs, missing limbs, and stuff like that, that just don't want to get out of their house but want to do something, and they just don't have the money to do it. The 4 Wheel to Heal will come in and actually pay for these guys to get out and go do stuff. They will pay clubs to take these guys out, pay for the gas, pay for the hotels, pay for anything that these folks need.
And what kind of events, what kind of things does Wheelin' to Healin' do for these guys?
4 Wheel to Heal, they put on shows such as what we did, show and shines, rock crawl events, mud bogs, stuff like that, all over the U.S. They're only about a year old, and they've always wanted to come here to Oregon for the Oregon National Guard and to help out our Guard, since they are one of the first Guard units to always be called out. And it was just a great opportunity. We were in the right place at the right time to talk to these guys and to get their organization out here to Oregon.
Yeah, and it's for a first annual event, this turned out pretty good. Quite a number of vehicles here. You had an RTI ramp that was donated here for folks to play on. The list of vendors is about as long as my arm. And you actually we had some celebrity donations as well. Give us a little quick rundown as far as the 2 celebrity donations that you managed to get a hold of.
The celebrity donations that we got were Larry the Cable Guy. He donated a limited edition T-shirt autographed by him. It said Larry the Cable Guy, get her done on the bottom of it, or shoulder portion. And the other donation that we got was from Paul Jr. of Paul Jr. Designs from the old OCC, Orange County Choppers. That one was a little tough to get, but I convinced them to give it to a worthy cause.
Yeah, and this definitely is a worthy cause, and we had a fairly good amount of donations. I'm also standing here with Justin, who's also, I guess, one of the higher-ups as far as Double Black Diamond goes. How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad. How about yourself, Josh?
Not too shabby. Actually, one of the first interviews I did for the podcast was with Jeremy, except it was done on a gravel road out on a wheeling excursion, and, the interview didn't turn out so well, so we didn't end up actually airing that interview, but glad to have him here and back on board. In fact, you just got back from a little round of annual training here recently, didn't you?
Yeah, just got done to spend a month down in Gowan Field, Idaho, just outside of Boise. So 41st Brigade Combat Team out of Oregon. We were down there doing a month long. We have some units that are getting ready to go overseas, and this was their primo annual training for them, so we're out there supporting those guys and getting them all set to go.
Well, this event goes to support all the armed forces, and this is just fantastic that you guys are a part of this, and I'm very proud to be a part of this as well. When everything was all said and done, we gave away a bunch of trophies for several different classes of vehicles, including Jeeps. Gave away a whole bunch of stuff, as well as those prizes we just heard about a minute ago. To tally, it sounds like we have right around a dollar figure. What was that dollar figure you think we're going to be donating?
We're looking at roughly $1,000.
$1,000 for a first annual event is a huge milestone. Congratulations, you guys. This is fantastic. Thank you for making me a part of this. This will be an annual event. I'm going to assume that we're going to be doing this again next year?
Yes, it will be an annual event. We're going to be holding it every August, right around the end of the month.
Outstanding. And where can people go to find out more information about Double Black Diamond and about Wheelin' and Heelin' and Four Wheel to Heel and all that?
For right now, we're trying to get our webpage back up and going, but we can be found on Facebook. Just look us up, Double Black Diamond Off-Road. We'll be on there. Also, for Wheelin' and Heelin', look up fourwheeltoheel.org, and all the information for the program is on their website as well.
Outstanding. Well, thanks, guys, for taking a few minutes and talking to us. Looking forward to seeing you guys again here soon.
Thanks, Josh. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and just like...
This is Dan from the 4x4 Podcast, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
I know you've heard us talk about Amazon on the podcast before, but have you heard about our new game? You bought what? It's a lot of fun, and we want you guys to play along. All you have to do is go to xjtalk.com or xjtalkshow.com and click on the Amazon banner there on the main page. This takes you right to Amazon, where you can buy any crazy little thingamajig to join in on the fun. Amazon gives us a list every week of what you guys are buying, but we don't get to know who it is that's buying it. As an added bonus, you get the same great price you always would, and Amazon is going to give the show a small pittance for you playing along. So let's all have some fun. The XJ Talk Show and Amazon.com.
Hey, Josh, I'm glad you brought that up, because we're going to be doing the Amazon You Bought What on future shows, and I think we're going to try to do it next show. Now, I'm sorry, I actually read the show notes and started playing the promos on top of you talking.
I know. Tony and I were, during that last segment, just chatting offline, as it were, and mentioned that, we need to chit-chat about a few things as well here during the show, and of course, I jumped right in, and he was following the show notes, and I was following chat. So we had a little bit of talk over there, but no big deal. What I was going to say is the Wheel to Heel and four wheel to Heel and the Wheelin' and Heelin' groups, as well as Harry Franco with Hidden Wounds XJ. All these guys doing some excellent work. Please look them up. Please if nothing else, get on board with their cause, whether it be friending on Facebook, adding a few comments, something like that. Obviously, these guys, they need donations and stuff to help keep the wheels turning with their own events and whatnot. If you can, by all means, these are very noble causes. These guys are doing great work, and I'm very proud to be friends with these guys, to be involved with what they're doing. And of course, I'll be looking forward to another Four Wheel to Heel event this summer, which I'll be sure to get another little bit of audio for you guys, and maybe even some video too.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I hope you get more interviews with them. It's very interesting and a great cause. I know I harp on this a lot, guys, but these people went out and protected us. Whether you agree with the war or not, I personally believe that had we not gone out into the world and drawn the terrorists and the people that wanted to kill us into areas that weren't on our soil, that they would be here, and Josh and I and you would have to be defending our families. And there's no telling what losses, personal losses we would have had. And I know many of you out there that have not been in the military still have personal losses because you've lost friends and loved ones. And, I just honor anybody that takes that risk and also pays the ultimate sacrifice. And of course, those people that are still here, but they're injured, and we need to support them. So please, just a couple of bucks, if nothing else. Josh, we'll get together after the show, and we'll make a donation to one or more of these things in the name of XJ Talk Show.
Very good. Well, hey, speaking of personal losses, I got a very interesting phone call today, and it wasn't about a loss in my family, although I've got a story about something similar to that. I'll just jump right into that. On my way home this evening, just a couple of houses down, as I rounded in through the neighborhood and was approaching my house, a couple of houses down, I saw a couple of black vans parked out in front, and they had Serenity Memorial written on the side of them. And it was a neighbor who I didn't know very well, but he and I had spoke on several occasions, and we were on a first-name basis. His name's Skip. He was a former educator here in the school district in which I reside in. And the beginning of the fall into the summer last year, he came up while I was tinkering around in the Jeep in the driveway and struck up conversation and let me know that he was in advanced stages of pancreatic cancer. And I was very saddened to see these vans out in front of his home, which means that he is no longer with us. So, I know it's kind of a somber note, but I thought I'd share that, something that happened in my own life here as we were making my way home this afternoon. But back to the phone call I got earlier today. I got a call from the Department of Oregon Justice Safety or something. I can't remember exactly. It was some
a lot of words.
Yeah, exactly. And it was some guy was telling me that, hey, we see here that if there's any involvements in the case regarding Brandon Evans, the guy who stole your car, we'd want to reach out to you and let you know what's going on. I was like, oh yeah, okay. What's the latest? And he's like, well, we have him in custody. And I was like, oh, okay, what'd he do now? And sure enough, he's up to his old antics again. The kid stole another car, had it for about a day again, went on another high-speed pursuit, this time caused some more property damage and stuff. And the cops got him this time again. He was found with methamphetamine and heroin, both on him and in him.
Oh, that's unbelievable. Kids today.
Jeez, some people's parents, I don't know. Anyways, they got him locked up, but not before charging him with 7 different charges, and there's an 8th charge that's pending because during the search of the vehicle in which was stolen, one of the officers got pricked with a dirty syringe.
No. That's serious.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. Now, it falls somewhere in between assault with a deadly weapon and murder, I guess, because it is, God knows what this guy could have contracted if he did contract anything at all. Hopefully not. Hopefully the officer's clean. He's under medical supervision right now. He's going to have to go through, I think, a good few months of blood testing to verify whether or not anything is in his system and incubating and gestates or whatever. I don't know how any of that stuff works, and frankly, I don't ever want to find out.
I just got visions of the Alien movie while you were talking about that.
There's something coming out the chest. Anyways, the officer that I spoke with, I guess, was a former parole violations officer or something along those lines, because I started to ask him a question about, well, so this kid is potentially looking at some serious prison time. He's got 7 charges, and some of which are fairly serious.
Yeah, you would hope.
It's going to be jail. He's not going to be out in a few months. No, he's going to be looking at prison time. And so what does that mean? I'm horribly selfish here. What does that mean about my
Where's my money? Yeah, where's my money, man?
Where's my money? So, and I was like, I don't know if you're the right person to answer this or not. I'm sure you're going to refer me to some sort of restitution department. He's like, no, actually, as a former parole violations officer, that's something that we handle. And he's like, in your case, what this is probably going to end up how it's going to go down is that your case is going to get turned over to the state revenue department, which means most likely the taxpayers are going to cut me a check, and this kid who's now locked up is going to spend his jail sentence working off what he owes to the state. So, there was a one of those forms I filled out, which if you guys remember back in several episodes back, I was saying something along the lines of, I wish to exercise my right to a speedy restitution or something like that. So, and I think that's where this falls into, is that since I checked that, it's not just going to go on indefinitely. This is going to get handed over to the State Department, and I will eventually get a check cut. So that's sort of what I'm hoping. I'm sure the wheels turn much more slowly, and there's a lot more red tape involved in all this than that. So I will, of course, keep you guys up to speed as that develops as well.
I'm happy to hear that you're looking at getting restitution, but I'm really surprised about the whole money coming from the taxpayers, because this kid can't. I'm sure young adult. We call him a kid because he's a young adult. but this young adult can't control himself and has addictions and all these other problems. Now the taxpayer has to, in your state, has to pay to clothe and feed him and provide him with a sexual partner in his cell. And
yeah, it really is a damn shame. I mean, honestly, I don't wish ill will on people. So I hope.
Yeah, but you do want to see him get some sort of punishment at least.
I do want to see him get punishment. I also want to see him. Obviously, this guy has got serious problems.
Yeah.
Whether it's beyond his control at this point because he's so deep down the rabbit hole in drugs, as it were, that he just doesn't know the difference between right and wrong anymore, which I find hard to believe. But with heroin and methamphetamines, who knows? I'm sure that's a very nasty combination. So I hope that he gets the help that he needs, because this isn't the kind of life for anybody. Obviously, he's affecting my life. He's affecting other people's lives. If he were to get out in 2-3 weeks, 2-3 months from now, I'm going to bet my bottom dollar that within another month or so, he's going to get locked up for same kind of charges or worse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, last time it was 2 or 3 charges with my car. This time it was 7 charges, potentially 8. With somebody else's car, and now we're looking at an officer potentially losing his life if he's got AIDS or something, HIV. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, or just I'm drawing a blank. Not jaundice. What is the liver disease? Hepatitis.
Hepatitis. Yeah.
I mean, it could be as serious as that. So, I mean,
Really?
there's old diseases out there that could that the officer could contract. Yeah,
So-
we need to remember officers too. They even though they can be a bit of a pain sometimes and not have a very good attitude. And I blame that completely on dealing with the public and seeing the underbelly of the public. I understand, but I'm not the underbelly. Don't treat me that way. But still, we got to thank those guys for doing that job every day. I wonder how many of them put 5 or 10 years in and go, "What the hell was I thinking?"
What did I sign up for, really, though? So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening with this guy. I guess he's got a hearing coming up Monday. And I'm supposed to hear back after that hearing as to what happens with that. I will, of course, be asking very explicitly what the next steps are on me getting my money.
I'm really impressed that they called you and told you about this other thing that had nothing to do with your car being stolen.
Well, it kind of sort of does, because the trial that I was supposed to appear at was last week before, something like that. It was held over. And so what's happening is that my charges are going to be getting added up with his charge. These new sets of charges,
Sure.
These 2 cases are going to get put into one because his trial is still pending. And while trial pending, he offended again while supposedly on a supervised release. So they knew. I mean, obviously, when he was pulled over, we know you. You're going to be locked up for a while now. So he was. Of course, once he entered the system again. Red flags popped up, and now the wheels are sort of turning in the direction of, well, we're just going to go ahead and put all this together because it happened in such a short period of time from one another, and the system hasn't had a chance to chew them up and spit them out again. So
now, I was just going to say I don't know if they told you or not. They told you a lot of stuff, but I'm hoping that they did. What vehicle did he steal this time?
Oh no, I didn't find out, but I will.
No.
I will.
I figured everybody wants to know that. I know I was curious. Was it another Honda, or did he step up to like a Chevy truck or a Ford or a Dodge?
Pool, guys. So hop over to xjtalk.com. Let's go ahead and get a pool going.
There we go.
We'll see who wins. Who's the winner chicken dinner.
Oh, chicken dinner. Hey, what's the deal with chicken and waffles? I've never had that, but apparently that's a big deal.
Wow, I'm really surprised that you brought that up because it's been all over TV and radio lately. It's really odd that you living down in Texas, down in the South, haven't had chicken and waffles.
I just heard about it recently. My youngest daughter, we went to IHOP probably, it might have been 6 months ago, and she ordered chicken and waffles, and I'm like, what the hell? I had never seen it before. And the reason why I mention it is she bought a waffle maker the other day and was trying to make waffles. And I've been eating waffles here for the last couple of days, and they're good.
I do like waffles, and it's funny. I was just eating dinner just a couple hours ago, if that, and I was watching some Food Network TV, and it was one of those shows. I think it was called Chopped or something like that. And one of the dishes that this guy came up with was a play on chicken and waffles. And I'm like, wow, man, this is all it's happening way too surreal here. What's going on? So yeah, I was kind of shocked when you mentioned chicken and waffles. Now I'm a huge foodie. I love soul food, and I have not ever had chicken and waffles. So even though there's tons of places around me I can go and get the stuff anytime, it's just breakfast food and lunch and dinner food combined onto one plate. Just hasn't been a huge draw to me.
Well, I love breakfast. I mean, I love breakfast for dinner. It's a very flavorful
dinner. But you throw a chicken quarter on top of a couple waffles and smother it all in maple syrup, and I'm like, No,
see, that's what I was just going to ask. I forget how she fixed hers, but I'm thinking if it's got cream gravy on both of them, now you're talking, because that'd be like French fries and cream gravy, which I love. Now let me back you up to soul foods. Is the chicken and waffles considered soul food?
It is around here.
Okay. So what else? What other soul food do you eat?
Oh, I love me some greens. I love some. Well, I haven't had good grits in a long time. I haven't had good grits in a long time since I was probably, I'm going to say 18, 19, 20 years old. Best friend's mom. Oh my goodness, could she cook up some grits? Holy cow. And I haven't seen her in ages and let alone been over there to have something like that cooked up for me. But some good red beans and rice.
Oh yeah, red beans and rice, definitely. Now I will say the puddle or the limpet to pool of butter in the grits. Now that looks appealing. I wouldn't mind dipping my toast in there, but the grits itself, I can't do it.
A nice buttery pool on top of some grits. You can dip just about anything in that.
Well, I may have to try some, because my dad always said that your taste changes every 7 years or so. So I don't know if that's true or not, but there are some things that I will eat now, and don't you guys go that way. There's some things I'll eat now that just weren't good when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, no, taste change. But chicken and waffles, not exactly something you could eat while you're out on the trail. I would imagine. I figured that would be kind of hard to take with you.
Well, McDonald's. McDonald's might actually come out with something. You remember how you get your sausage and your eggs and everything mixed up with your syrup and your pancakes, and then they came out with a damn McGriddle or something with all that in one sandwich. So I don't know. There might be a chicken and waffle taco coming out at Taco Bell soon.
Well, Taco Bell's now serving breakfast, so anything's possible, I guess.
I was thinking I need to get that little segment from Denver D1 where he's screaming, "It's a Jeep podcast, guys!" So I can play that for things like this.
My head right now.
Yeah, are you? Yeah, it's funny.
I gotta mention something Jeep and trail. It's not trail food. There we go.
Well, see, it's Dan's fault. Oh, by the way, Dan had Dan had his first son. Born yesterday or the day before, like 8 pounds or 27 pounds. It was bigger than a bowling ball. It was just a huge, healthy boy. And he actually posted some pictures on xjtalk.com today.
Sure did. And he just looks like, couldn't be a more proud papa. And so big congratulations out to Dan. He is the proprietor and the host of the 4x4 podcast. Yep. You guys go check him out. Great guy and great addition to the family. Dan, congratulations once again.
Hey, I think he deserves a plug for that newborn. His wife may be listening to this going, "What the hell? Dan didn't do a damn thing."
This is Dan from the 4x4 podcast, and you're listening to the XJ Talk Show.
Congratulations, Dan and Mrs. Dan.
Oh, and Tony, did you read that the kid's name is CJ?
Yes. Actually, I saw that on his Facebook post, and like I was telling you, I was going to share it, but it said some people might not be able to see this because it was shared privately. I was just excited for the birth, and I was going to share it, but since he was kind of had the privacy settings, I didn't do that. But so I was real happy to see that he posted that up on xjtalk.com so everybody could throw some jokes. I mean, congratulations his way.
Well, last episode, Tony, we had talked a little bit about ball joints, and the ball joint talk is going to continue a little bit as we got some ball joint work to be done on at least one Jeep here in my neighborhood. It's not going to be my Jeep. I haven't gotten my ball joints yet. I'll probably be ordering those this weekend, in fact. Mm-hmm. And, but one of our listeners, actually, it's a '92 War Wagon. Wes lives right around the way from me. Ordered up a set of the Alloy USA ball joints that we had talked about back on, I think it was episode 116 or 117. And we're going to be putting those in his cousin's Jeep. He's got, I think, a 5.5-inch rough country lift or something. Maybe it's a Rubicon Express. Anyways, he's got a nice Cherokee as well, but he's got a ball joint that has seriously failed, and it's his daily driver. We've got to get this thing taken care of this weekend. We've been putting it off for a couple weeks now, and just can't do it anymore. So cold, sickness be damned. I'm going to get out there and help these guys out. I got the Harbor Freight big, huge C-clamp press tool that I'm going to let them borrow. I'm probably going to be doing a little bit more supervising than I am going to be actually doing wrench turning, but nonetheless, going to be doing some ball joint installs on an XJ this weekend.
Well, let me ask you, how is it manifesting itself? I know you can jack it up and wiggle the wheel. That's supposed to be how you're supposed to be able to test it. But how does he know that it's a problem, or did he know without raising it up and wiggling the wheel?
It first presented itself as a little bit of a noise and the vehicle wanting to dive a little bit as, the tires catch the ruts in the freeway. And he's, that hadn't really been very prevalent before. Mm-hmm. And so it started getting worse and worse. And then, of course, you hit a bump and you hear the clunk, and then, of course, jack up the vehicle, grab the tire and start wiggling things around. And sure enough, there's some play in there. He had to wait like a full pay cycle before he could get the ball joints ordered the ball joints up. And it's been a couple weeks now. So it's been like, a good solid month or so that he's been driving around, daily driving on this bad ball joint, and it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I ran into him in the grocery store this evening, in fact, and he said that it's now sounding like it's metal on metal.
Oh, wow.
Like metal grinding noise. And I was like, you sure your brakes aren't going bad? He's like, no, just did those. I know it's not the brakes. Definitely the ball joint. And he's like, it's almost getting to the point now where it's hard to drive.
Well, I would wonder if it's not the wheel bearing assembly with the metal on metal noise.
Well, it shouldn't be, because we just replaced those last summer.
Were they Timkins? Were they Timkins or El Cheapos?
Good question. I can't remember.
What size tires is he running?
33 1250 BFG KM2s.
Okay. Same thing I am. Yeah, the reason why I ask is because I'm feeling a little something weird on mine about the rut catching that you're talking about. And if I'm taking a curve, it almost feels like I'm sure it's not, but it almost feels like the tire is moving to the side. It just has a weird, almost like the sway bar is disconnected. And that's the reason why I went ahead and paid $75 for those special tools to do ball joints, because I got 3 Jeeps and I've done 1 set of ball joints. So I figure mine's going to be next.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting mine taken care of. Mine's not quite as bad as his. Done off the trail a few weeks ago. I could definitely tell that there was something new going on in on the front right corner. So yeah, mine are shortly behind his. I'm not going to let this go too terribly long. Like I said, I'm going to order my own this weekend. I haven't really locked down which way I want to go. I really want to see these US or this Alloy USA ball joints up close and personal. Yes. I'd like to get some sort of comparison in person, if I could, to a set of Moog. So what I might do, head over there early Saturday morning, grab one of those US Alloy ball joints, and head over to the parts store and see if I can't find, do a visual comparison with the Moogs, side by side, hand in hand, and find out, okay, is this one weigh more? Does this one look beefier? Can we find out metal composition? Something. I want to pick these things apart.
I wish you would, because I'm not sure which one I want to get. I'm leaning towards the Spicer because, I got almost 200,000 miles on my Jeep, and for the last 7 years, it's been lifted with oversized tires. So
now I would ordinarily be with you 100% on that. And I love Spicer U-joints. Honestly, I don't think, unless you go with some of like the Super X ball joints or something like that there's really anything stronger out there or more reliable than the Spicers. Can the same thing be said about the ball joints?
I don't know.
I don't know, because these are like some of the Moog are, they're hailed around the XJ community as being some of the stronger ones. I haven't heard that about the US Alloy. Now, the price is decent enough, and obviously they have a decent reputation as far as their axle shafts go. I would like to think that they know what they're doing as far as ball joints go.
Right.
So, I'm kind of putting those into the category of they are stronger than OEM, and Spicer would be an OEM replacement. And I kind of look at it like almost like motor mounts. OEM will do, and it may last quite a long time depending on how much you wheel. And I think this is where it comes into play, is really what kind of terrain do you find yourself on? How many miles do you put on it? How hard do you wheel? Stuff like that. And a lot of that has to come into play when you're choosing things like motor mounts, like ball joints, like U-joints, et cetera, et cetera. It's going to kind of come into how much abuse are these things going to see, and how much is this brand known for being able to put up with that abuse.
Well, I know Alloy USA makes some some good stuff, and I'm kind of thinking about those for my Jeep. The 99 that I just changed it out on, it's got 30s on it, 9.5, 30 by 9.5. So I'm not overly concerned about the side play and so on and so forth. Now, I just read in the comment section on our live audience. Where is it? He said he jacked it up off the as soon as I jacked up the Jeep, the wheel moved as the tire left the ground. Yeah, I think that would probably be a good indication. Now remind you, I was concerned about this about a month ago, and I jacked up my Jeep when I got home from work and tried moving the tire up from the top and the bottom. Solid as a rock. But I'll tell you this, it was also the same way on the 99. Because I tried that before I changed them out. And a couple of days, because I was concerned about my daughter's driving it the way it was. If the tire was that bad, it's probably wiggling around. Nope, solid as rock. So, I don't know. They still haven't taken that thing to Firestone to get it aligned yet.
Oh, jeez.
So they still need to get the alignment, and we still need to get another tire for it. So,
So it kind of plays in a little bit into what a part of the conversation we had last episode about ball joints, in that, Wes, 92 War Wagon, had taken his Jeep down to go get aligned after we did the lift. And they said, no, you've got some play here. It's the ball joint. You replace that, and we can get it locked in and dialed in, and you're going to be good to go. We could align it now, but it's going to kind of be floating around in and out of spec. If that's something you want, we'll continue. Otherwise, we can replace that ball joint. You can replace the ball joint, and we'll go ahead and align you up. And he opted to replace the ball joint himself and took it back. Now, the funny thing is that he had done the wiggle test, and nothing seemed out of whack. But when they had it up on the lift, they got it on there with a pry bar and started prying against it. You get a little bit more leverage, and sure enough, you start to see some play. So, maybe if you're built like Arnold Schwarzenegger, you can grab a tire and move it around and kind of get that force on it. Otherwise, guys like us may just have to get out the old pry bar or a big, long, jack handle or something like that to get a little bit of extra force on there to see the play that otherwise shouldn't be there.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I have to get one of those big-ass screwdrivers. What do they call those things? Pry bars? Is that what you said?
Pry bars, yep.
Yeah, looks like a big-ass screwdriver to me. It'll be good to go with the big-ass C-clamp.
Put that in the big-ass tool drawer.
Hey, I got a big-ass tool
yes,
drawer
you do.
now.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that, man. Tony got himself a brand new set of Craftsman toolboxes, top and bottom. You say the thing's like 6 feet tall, is that right?
Well, I think I oversold that a bit because I was looking, and it's probably more like 5 feet tall with the box sitting up on top of it, because I'm able to see inside the top that you can raise it up. I'm able to see inside that area just fine. So got a liner. The liner came in, and I got to cut that, but I'm going to be trying to cut it exactly so it'll fit in there real nice. And that way I don't get little washers and screws and stuff that get lost up underneath, the little gap that you have between the wall of the drawer. But very nice. Paid $250 on Woot.com, and everything from Woot is $5 shipping. And I hope they make it up somewhere else, because I don't think they made any money on these things. I believe they said that it was a 48% savings on this thing, because it was like close to $500 regularly. And Craftsman, so I think you said Craftsman. And
yep.
I like the Craftsman name. I mean, Snap-on would be nice too, but I'll take Craftsman.
Yeah. I don't think either one of us can afford Snap-on.
Oh, I don't. I'll buy Husky tools as long as they work. Hey, let's get into our our reviews here. Unfortunately, and this is I blame you people, we don't have any new reviews.
Oh, shame on you all.
Well, with that look, Josh, I thought I was in trouble for blaming them. It's not you, it's us.
Yes. No, we would like you guys to head over to iTunes. We recently did a little bit of analysis and found that we do have a substantial amount of listeners coming from iTunes or using iTunes to listen to the show. And if you're listening through an Apple device right now or using iTunes to listen to the show as you're podcasting, please we encourage you guys to go over and give us a review. Click on those 5 stars if you would. That'd be great. And leave a comment, leave a review. We'd love to hear from you guys. And we always read those comments here on the show every week when we do have them. You can do this on both Stitcher and iTunes. So please, whether you're listening on Stitcher or iTunes, love to hear from you guys.
And not necessarily a review process, although they may have a review process over there too. But we're now on Tuned In. So you can actually grab our show on Tuned In. Is it Tuned or Tune? I think it's Tune In.
I think it's Tune In.
Mm-hmm. Well, just look them both up, and if you see a guy dressed as a woman, you're on the wrong site.
Yes, indeed.
Reminds me of those times I was looking up Jeep trannies on Google. It doesn't take long to learn the mistake there.
Google can be your friend or your worst enemy.
So, as you guys remember, we got a new member to the team, and as always, and I'll steal what Josh has said many times, there's always a third seat open, and we'd love to have you as part of the show, whether it's a Jeep tip or a really anything that you would like to join in with us. That's really strange.
Oh, you dropped off there for a second. And
No. What's strange is I got a message up here on the screen says we're not receiving data from your encoder.
Well, that's not good.
Well, internet's still up because you're there.
I am here. And I know there's a bit of a delay on YouTube, but I have the YouTube channel up right now. It's about a 20 or 30-second delay at most, and I'm still seeing the feed.
Well, maybe it's lying to me.
I think it might be lying to you.
It says we are not receiving data from your encoder. Please make sure it's configured correctly.
Yep. No, we are still broadcasting. YouTube is live and is current. So
those bastards.
Sorry, guys.
All right. Well, anyway. So as you guys, let me do the long pause. I forget myself. I forget my own rules. So as you guys might remember, we have a new member to our team, Rob, and he's been doing a Wrangler segment for us. And this is going to be the second part of, well, not necessarily the second part, but his second Wrangler segment for us tonight. And, well, Josh, you got anything interesting to say about this?
Well, as far as I know, I haven't actually previewed this myself yet, but we've had a lot of winch talk lately. That's winch with an I, folks.
A lot of winch with a big beer stein.
A lot of winch talk lately here, both on the podcast as well as on xjtalk.com. And I think Rob's just playing right into that. He's got some winch talk to share with us as well.
Hey guys, this is Rob from CoolGuyStuff.tv. We are bringing you the second installment of our All Wrangler segment on the XJ Talk Show. Today, I want to cover what is arguably the most important aftermarket mod that you could do to your Jeep. Okay, when I say arguably, the reason is because depending on what you're doing, if you're doing a lot of rock climbing, if you're doing hardcore trails, if you get, depending on the model of Jeep that you get and what it actually has underneath it, you might want to do stuff with the suspension and the clearance and all that kind of stuff. But this will get you out of all the trouble. It is the winch. So the thing about winches are, much like auto insurance, it really sucks to pay the money unless if you get in a situation where you need it. Then you are more than thankful that you've paid whatever you paid to do it, especially if you're out on a trail by yourself. So there were a couple things that I really, really looked for when I did some research on buying a winch. Two things that are very important to me. Now, let's set aside that it needs to work and it needs to work properly, okay? So the two things that I really look for is one, a little superficial, but I wanted one that was powder coated black. So, it matches the rig and that kind of thing. There are a few out there, and I've seen blue ones and red ones and just the stainless steel natural looking ones. But black was the best for me. Second thing I wanted was made in the USA. Okay, so there are a lot of winches out there that are made in China, made in Mexico, made all over the world. But USA was important to me, and I am willing to pay a couple extra bucks to get that. Narrowing down my search, it brought me to a company that everybody has probably heard of that has a Jeep, and it's Warn, W-A-R-N. Warn makes heavy-duty, hardcore winches. They have light ones to heavy ones, but the heavier-duty ones that you're going to put on your Jeep are made in America, and they will definitely do the job. So, a couple that I personally looked into. One was the Xeon 10, and the other is the Xeon 10S. So there's only one real difference. Well, there's a couple differences, but one major difference is the synthetic rope on the 10S versus the regular cable rope on the 10. Okay, now that is also quite a big upcharge, another $250 at least if you want to get the synthetic rope. The Xeon 10 will run you $950 approximately, and the Xeon 10X will clock you in at around $1,200. You know, when I went to look at it, I like, okay, cool, the synthetic rope looks a lot cooler, and it's rope and not cable, so the feel of it is a lot better. So I really wanted to find what is the major differences between the two before I can make a choice for myself. So when it comes to wire versus synthetic rope, you're going to find that the synthetic rope is about 1.5 times stronger and about a seventh the weight. So it's a lot stronger and it's a lot lighter. When you go weight per weight basis, that's approximately 15 times stronger than the steel wire rope. It is less like when you go and you're cranking something out, there's a lot of pressure on that cable or that rope. So if something happens and it breaks, a lot of times the wire cable will take off flying. You know, it's under a lot of pressure. So if that pressure gives, your cable kind of flies a little bit, and it does create some danger for anybody standing around or potential damage or anything like that to the car or to the Jeep. Where the synthetic rope it's rope, so it pretty much just falls to the ground and you have no kick on it. That is another huge plus for the synthetic rope, especially if you're by yourself. Another really important thing about the synthetic rope that you can do when you can't do on the wire rope is if the wire rope breaks, you are out of luck. Where if a synthetic rope breaks, you literally can, you got to weave it back together, but you literally can put it back together on the spot and continue on your way. So for those of you guys that are out there on your own and you get stuck, you could pull yourself out. If your winch cable breaks or your rope breaks, you can weave this thing back together and you are off down the trail again. So those are all some really big perks for $250. The downsides are this: it's way more maintenance to have a winch with synthetic rope. So you really got to take it out and you got to wash that rope out regularly, and you got to try and keep it from the UV rays. And so you want to keep it covered or out of the sun. A lot of them are built into the bumpers and you don't have that issue necessarily. But if you just have a factory bumper and you install your winch on top of that, the sun is going to be hitting that rope without a cover on it a lot, and that will potentially damage it. And you also want to keep it at a very high temperature situations. Now with the cable, those things are as durable as heck. You could drag them on the ground. They won't fray. You can let the sun hit them all you want. Nothing's going to happen. You don't have to worry about hot temperatures. So there are a couple downsides on the synthetic versus getting the cable. But the synthetic rope will be easier and it will be safer to use, and it is way lighter. So when it boils down to those pros and cons, which do you prefer? Personally, I choose the route of as low maintenance as possible, and I am getting the cable versus the synthetic rope. Synthetic rope really does look cool, and it really does have a lot of perks to it, but you really do have to maintenance and take care of it. For a guy that just wants to throw a winch on the car and hopefully never have to use it, wire is hands down the way to go. So what do you get with your Warn Xeon 10 or Xeon 10 winch? Xeon 10S winch? You get the black powder coated winch. You get with the Xeon 10, you get 80 feet of 3/8 thickness cable rope. And with the Xeon 10S, you get 100 feet of the 3/8 thick rope, the synthetic rope with it. And again, the 10, which is the steel cable, weighs 98 pounds, where the Xeon 10S only weighs 75 pounds. So that's quite a bit difference when it comes to the weight overall of the winch. For me, again, I choose durability and I choose low maintenance, and each winch is phenomenally built and they will pull up to 10,000 pounds. So I am going to stick with the Xeon 10 for myself. Please let me know what you guys go with. You could reach me at jeeplife@coolguystuff.tv, and you can give me your opinions on winches, and you can give me your opinions on anything Jeep Wrangler. That would be appreciated. And if you want to see anything or hear anything on the show, just kind of shoot that in that email as well. You can find me at www.coolguystuff.tv, or you can look me up on Twitter, xrobspencer, XROBSPENCERX. Until next week, guys, ride safe.
Hey, thanks a lot, Rob. And, you can also give us a voicemail, and we can share those with Rob, and he'll be able to answer those as well. So if you guys don't know our voicemail number, which I never do, but fortunately Josh does.
Yep, it's 530-675-4102. That's 530-675-4102, and it's open 24/7. Nobody will ever answer, but you can leave a 3-minute message.
Speaking of voicemails, we got a couple. Hey, this is Tony.
And this is Josh from the XJ Talk Show. We want to thank you for calling our 24/7 voice line.
Yes, we do. Just leave your first name and your question or comment.
There's no guarantee, but we may play your message on the podcast.
Oh, and don't worry about keeping it clean. We'll take care of that.
Now it's your turn to speak at the beep.
Hey, this is Nicky G, and I just heard the promo for episode, I think it's 118, and where Josh says you got a voicemail from a European. Well, I'm not a peon. I'm not even doing number 2. Yeah, you can't go wrong with a potty joke. All right, gentlemen, I'll chat you later.
Okay, who saw that one coming? I did.
Yeah.
I listen to Nicky G every week, though, so we appreciate it, Nicky G. Always funny.
Hey, everybody, this is Dave. You can find me on Facebook, Dave Jeeps. I just want to say thank you guys, and I appreciate your support, and you guys are awesome.
Yep. Check out Dave Jeeps on Facebook. Dave had some very kind words for us on Facebook, Josh.
Well, I really like that kind of stuff. That's awesome. I love hearing the feedback, the voicemails, all that kind of stuff. And I got to get over on Facebook a little more often, check that stuff out. Dave, thank you very much.
Hi, guys. James PT calling back from Europe. I just hope you know I was being tongue-in-cheek about repaving all the highways. Our roads are almost exactly the same as yours, except for the whole metric system thing. So basically, all you need to do is stop calling it the fast lane and start calling it the passing lane, and maybe it'll catch on. Anyway, I have another question. As people more closer to Jeep than say I am, is how can Jeep be calling this new subcompact a subcompact SUV? Those two things don't make sense to me. It's either a subcompact or it's an SUV, but that's I don't know, like saying a small mini cruise ship or something like that. That doesn't make sense. And just to let you know that the actual platform isn't a Fiat 500, it's a Fiat Panda. If you Google them, they've been going for a long time now as 4x4 subcompacts, which are designed for your farmers that need a cheap car to get around town or something small that has 4x4. But SUV, no, it's not no SUV. Take care, guys. Bye.
Well, thanks, James, and I couldn't agree with you more. And as James has alluded, I think I really have found my new outlet for all of my bashing frustrations. So, James, look forward to much future bashing of the Renegade in future episodes.
But not too much.
No, we'll keep it to a minimum.
Hey, Tony and Josh, it's Stephanie from New York. I promised you guys that I would call in and say hello since I didn't get through last time because I was sick. Today I happened to get 1 and 2 degree burns on my chest. You know, it's always something with me. I'm very accident prone.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that your podcast is doing good, guys, and it's nice to be able to pop in and say hello. My baby Mater is doing wonderful. She's going to be getting a set of new shoes soon. And, yeah, you guys can hit me up too, you know. Hello to any other listeners out there. XJ's the best. Can't go wrong if you don't have an XJ. It sucks to be you. But anywho, I don't know what to ramble on about for 3 minutes. So I hope you guys have a good one. Enjoy your podcast, and I will be talking to you all soon. Later.
Love that accent.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. And Stephanie, thanks for the voicemail. Sorry to hear about your accident. I'm a klutz myself. I get into all kinds of trouble and usually end up cutting myself or drawing blood in some way or another almost on a daily basis. So, hey, if you're not getting hurt, you're not doing it right.
That's right.
Hey, be sure to check out Forward Vision Graphics and Signs on Facebook for orders and details you need. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for calling in. That was one of the last moment call-ins today that I had advertised out on Facebook this afternoon, and then right before I sat down to do the editing of these things. So we had 2 or 3 calls come in right there at the end.
Hey, way cool.
Hi, guys. James PT calling back. Just talking about that subcompact SUV thing. I guess I must have picked that up from one of your previous episodes. I think Josh mentioned it.
Yep.
But I saw the announcement of the Renegade, and I actually like it. It's got regular round headlights in the front, 7-slot grille, semi-square looking, much better than the new XJ.
That's true.
And I was really hoping for something similar to like a Samurai with live axles, but that's never coming back again. So, I think I love that small SUV class after all. And I don't think Jeep is really reinventing this class as, Suzuki has been doing it for a long time. And as you know, I am a Suzuki driver. Take care, guys.
Everybody's welcome at xjtalk.com. Don't care what you got or what you don't got. Come over and visit and have fun.
Absolutely.
Hey, this is Nikki G. Not feeling too funny this week. I'm pretty upset over this whole Ukraine crisis. And I've never been to Ukraine, but I've been to U-Haul. And I know how hard it is to get a friend to help you lift your couch. I can't imagine how hard it must be to try to get friends to help you lift whatever you would need a crane for. And, for a moose and squirrel. And if you don't get that joke, ask your grandparents. They'll roll on the floor laughing. All right, guys, I'll chat you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Geez, Nikki, you're killing me.
I've noticed that when Nikki starts, the depression starts setting in, it's time to replace the foil because it's starting to thin out.
Yeah, apparently. I haven't been to Ukraine, but I've been to U-Haul. Where does this come from?
And they had
I love it.
And they had a crane there. So there you go. It's almost exactly like being there at the place.
Well done, Nikki. Well done.
And now we have a new Josh's Subconscious.
Oh, boy.
And now, another message from Josh's Subconscious. Yoo-hoo! Oh, man. When Tony was talking about ball joints and giving it a good whack with a hammer and being able to relieve tension and it popped right out, well, guess what? If you give anything that relates to balls a good whack, you will relieve tension. Oh my God. Oh, and another thing too. What's with ball joint? That doesn't sound like a car part. It sounds a little bit more like a male strip club, or even one of those little bars that you go to meet other guys. Yeah, totally. It's better than Rainbow Room. Yes, it is. Well, I gotta go. Toodaloo.
Yes, I have a very, very dirty subconscious, folks.
Not that there's
overactive imagination.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Oh, no, not at all. Well, I love the Josh's Subconscious segments. Folks, for those of you who are new to the show, it's not something that I do. It's one of our fans, one of our listeners submits that every now and again, and they're a riot. I absolutely love it. It's a great hit, and I really appreciate the involvement. Guys, you can get involved, too, by sending emails, helping me out with This Week in Jeep by sending stuff to newstips@xjtalk.com. I'll give you that 24/7 voicemail line to call. If you'd like to get in for an interview, we can do that through Skype or over the phone. Even if you're in my neck of the woods, might even be able to get you in studio for an interview like that. Everybody's got a story to tell. We'd love to hear yours. 530-675-4102.
Love all the voicemails. It means you guys are listening, you're wanting to be involved, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, and I know Josh does too. Hey guys, remember we're on Facebook, Twitter, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn.com, iTunes, YouTube, the website, xjtalkshow.com, and of course, don't forget about the forum, xjtalk.com, where we have, like Dan's pictures of his baby and also two Jeeps. So, I mean, what more could you want? And, well, do we talk about the random babe thread? I don't think, no, we don't talk about that. That's all right.
No, but you guys have been posting up a lot of pictures of that new Renegade. Obviously, a big buzz over there right now. Of course, of all the usual great tech and advice, and of course, a little bit of fun as well.
Hey, if you like the show, help us out and tell a friend. Of course you like the show. Why the hell would you be listening to the end of the show? You wouldn't start at the end, would you, Josh?
No. It's not like having dessert first.
No. Thanks again to Rob for our first Wrangler segment that we've had on the show. Episode 2, I guess we could say now that we're on. And I think Rob's on a really good roll.
Yep, absolutely. Be looking forward to future submissions from him as well. And guys, you can join in on the fun too. Already given you a few different ways you can get in and submit some ideas or some thoughts, or even some stories. Don't forget, you guys can be a part of the show as well. Just like I mentioned, all you got to do start submitting some stuff.
Yep. Thanks again, guys. Have a great Jeep week. Don't forget about checking your ball joints. And I'm not talking about Josh's subconscious, the real ones, because you want to take care of them before they go bad. Anyway, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Take care.
So that was an hour and 5 minutes.
Yeah, not too shabby. I'm really surprised my voice didn't give out on me.
Oh, you did great. You didn't even look like sad Josh.
No, my energy level is here. I've been, the whole saying, starve a cold or feed a cold, starve a fever.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, feed a cold, starve a fever. So I've been eating, almost force feeding myself because I haven't had much of an appetite, but I ate a pretty big lunch. I always eat a good breakfast and stuff like that, and I just scarfed down a massive pile of stew and several big pieces of cornbread. And that's it's definitely helping keep the energy level up. So as long as this coughing fit doesn't last through the night, I'd be able to get another good night's sleep and power through the weekend.
Are you able to take something to knock you out and maybe subdue that cough a bit?
I thought about taking a little swill of NyQuil or something like that before I go to bed. I think I've got to check the medicine cabinet, see if we've got anything like that laying around. I usually don't like getting all drugged up like that because oftentimes, especially something like NyQuil or something, it makes you feel groggy the next day, and you got that medicine head, and it's just it's hard to do trigonometry when you're kind of floating in a funk, this fog around your head and stuff. So it makes for a very slow and unproductive day.
Well, I'm that way if I don't get enough sleep, so I take it just so I can sleep.
Yeah, it's kind of a catch-22. Either you damned if you do, damned if you don't. But it's definitely a different kind of unproduction, if you will.
Hey, I noticed that in the inset window or the picture in the picture, you're a little small in there. Did you want to do I don't know if you can quickly do the zoom thing. I don't know if there is enough granularity in that zoom that you might be able to be a little closer, make yourself look a little closer to the camera.
Let me see if I can do that. My webcam controls went away for a second, so let me just pop that back up. There it is. And minimize this and zoom in Doesn't appear that. Did that do anything?
Nope.
No.
We can do it later. I just thought since we were, here and.
Yeah, for some reason I think it's because the controller and Skype don't like to work together.
Yeah, it could be. The other thing you might want to do, I don't know what you got back there, but if you could put a light, even a light on the floor to light up the wall behind you. Not the let's see, not the foam, but the other side.
I just so happen to have one.
Okay.
Down when I do some messing around with the wiring and stuff underneath. There we go. Oh, scary.
Yeah, but no, I was talking to actually like behind you. Yeah, like that. It gives a little more depth to your picture.
Mm.
Can you see it?
Yeah, it certainly balances things out a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. You look less like you're in a cave somewhere in Tora Tora.
I happen to like my cave. Thank you very much.
Well, I hope Anonymous isn't hearing you talk about your cave. It'll be in the next Josh's Subconscious.
Right?
All right. Well,
I need to get a script going for our promo. I'm woefully behind schedule on getting that going.
The nice thing is trying to adhere to that 1 hour schedule. It makes it nicer for getting done a little sooner in the evening and not being up till 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, there's no way I could do that. I get up way earlier. I don't understand how you do that anyways. It must be the naps.
Yeah, I didn't have a nap today, but I got a pretty good full 7 hours of sleep last night, so I kind of have to force it. My back starts hurting, although it is not been hurting as much, so I've been able to sleep longer and get a continuous amount of sleep. Hey, I was going to ask you real quick. You may not be able to answer since you're typing. We had to cut your chit chat segment last show because we were running over. Wasn't there some trail damage that you got that involved your ball joints?
Yeah. Okay. I have my front passenger ball joint is shot, and the wheel is, you hit a pothole or you go over a bump or even diving into a corner a little bit too sharp, and you can hear it clunking around over there.
Okay. Let's see. There's something else I was going to ask you about. Yeah, I can't. Oh yeah, I'm kind of anxious to know about those ball joints. I think I'm going to have to do mine pretty soon. It may not be. I may not be having a problem. The problem that I think I'm having may not be that. This could be the cupped tires in the back, because I noticed that I don't have as much following of grooves and stuff on the road now, but I still feel it. This could be the rear tires catching them now.
So have one of the daughters hop in, and while you're out on the driveway on some rougher cement, or even better down on the street or something like that, have one of the kids climb into the Jeep and start working that steering wheel back and forth while you inspect all your tie rod ends and rod joint ends and stuff like that. You may just have a tie rod that needs to be tightened up a little bit. Or a joint that's starting to go bad or something like that. Maybe your track bar bushing is starting to wear a little bit.
Yeah, it's always possible. That stuff is
all it takes is about 1/8 to 1/16 of an inch of play.
Right.
And
I was just going to say, that stuff's about a year old.
Oh,
maybe 2 years old. So it's all replaced. In fact, I was thinking about ordering an Ironman Andy tie rod to go on there, because I've got his track bar. And upper lowers, I saw a hilarious picture today on Facebook. Somebody posted, I made a set of, I fabbed up a set of adjustable control arms, and they seem to work out really well. It was a set of factory stamped steel control arms that somebody had cut in the middle and then used that 3/8 inch hex long hex screw things and some threaded stock, And they had welded the 1 inch long hex nuts on either side of the stamped metal things. It was hilarious. And I was like, oh, and I've never seen it. And apparently it's somebody in the post said, so you're trolling over here now too. And the guy goes, no, this is my normal troll place.
That's great.
So it was a setup, it's kind of like that welded pinion and ring. They said, hey, I welded my rear end, but now the Jeep won't go anywhere, and it shows a pinion welded to the ring instead of welding the spider gears together. Anyway, it was pretty funny looking at that because it really got me. I looked at that and went, oh no, what little strength it had, it's all gone now.
Yeah, right.
All right, guys, you hear it every week. We sure appreciate you being there for the live show. If you would, tell your friends. Appreciate the comments. And every time you make a comment during the live show, it gets added to the comments for the posting, the thing that goes up on YouTube. So we really appreciate those. It makes the show look a little more interesting, like people care about it, and they're willing to make comments. They can figure out that you made them during the show, I guess, by reading them or coming to the show, the live show, and watching. Wonderful comments, lots of fun. I wish I had more time to play in the chat room. Chat room is can actually be a lot of fun. I remember from watching other shows like on Ustream and stuff, and just having a blast with everybody in the show. So this is the part where we wrap up the post show. And Josh and I do our little promo that we'll put up on YouTube, and of course will be out for on the various sources for download. Hope you don't mind hearing the promos in the audio stream. But if you have your device set, whatever software app, whatever, to automatically download our show. First off, thank you very much for going to the trouble of setting up for automatic download. And if you haven't, you might want to consider it so you don't miss anything. And also, too, we hope you don't mind the little 30-second promo for the next show. Josh and I talked about it and thought it'd be kind of like if you guys are subscribing to multiple shows, and right after the Thursday show, we throw that 30-second promo out, and it automatically gets downloaded to your device, and you hear it would sound like a little commercial. And hopefully they're entertaining enough and short enough where you don't mind hearing them. At least that was our goal. Also, too, to keep you thinking about the XJ Talk Show, because I don't think it's a problem so much as making sure that you're aware of us, but just reminding you of the show and reminding you to download the show. And, I hate to be pushy, but what is it? If you don't set your bush on fire, you'll never get any popcorn. I forget the saying.
I thought a squeaky wheel gets the oil, but okay.
It's don't. I'll go with
the fiery bush.
It's don't hide your light under a bush, I think is what it's something along those lines. So anyway, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll stop talking here so Josh can say a few words, and then we'll turn this thing off and get to our promo.
Well, I just found that Harry Franco had school tonight, and Larry Franco, a good friend, said that he's sure that Larry would appreciate us mentioning his cause. So just remind everybody the show is available for download Mondays, and be able to grab some links and post them on your Facebook and share and download and all that kind of good stuff. So, I see that Harry actually just joined us a little bit late to the show, but glad you're here nonetheless. So I'm glad to throw in a couple plugs for you guys. You got a good cause like that.
Mm-hmm.
More than happy to share any kind of plugs or links or stuff that we can. So that's about it. Make sure you call in. I really appreciate everybody in chat tonight. Had a really nice big chat room going tonight. A lot of comments and stuff. So we'll see you guys next week.
I did not have to log back in.